Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs POSTGAME Podcast, and the comeback cardiac Cubs have done it. A 3-1 win over the New York Mets. Cubs 18-11 on the season. Maybe a game we didn't think they were going to win. Luke Stuckmeyer, Ryan Herrera, Cody Delmendo. We're here for at least, roughly about a full hour after the game. Make sure you subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube page. Best way to enjoy the CHGO experience, not to miss out on anything. And shout out to our new diehards today, Chris, Dan, Logan, and Rob. Diehard card is the key to a happy life. Mm-hmm. Also happy to in my life, fast game, Cubs win. Winning combo. Huh?
No, but to your point, for what, 7+ innings, it was wow, this is bad.
For the game, for the 8-0 lead that they blew and took a loss, this is the same type of feeling for the Mets.
Maybe, yeah. Well,
when you're up, you got a no-hitter going into the 8th inning and you lose.
Yeah. You absolutely add this to the you had no business winning folder.
That's correct.
I don't care what anyone says.
See, they balance out, don't they?
They had no business winning this ball game. Severino was shoving it down their throats. They couldn't even work counts. Everyone tweeting at me at CHGO Cubs saying this offense stinks. This offense can't hit. What is this lineup? 3-1, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
All I know is that there's something about this team. And this isn't the first time that I've added a game like this to the you had no business winning folder. But there's something about this team that they just don't give up. That's the easiest way to explain it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what it was. Leadoff walks in the 8th inning. That's never good when it's a one-run game, as we saw last night. It was a tie game when that happened. But Michael Busch getting the leadoff walk in the 8th inning, that led to them tying the game. And then, in the 9th inning, get a base runner on Mike Tauchman again. Mm-hmm. And then Morel, who I have been saying for the last week, he is on the brink. He is on the brink of breaking out. And what does he do? Fucking hits one.
First homer in
it's
20
still
days.
going. It's still going.
First homer in 20 days.
So, yeah. And everyone says everyone says we need a closer and all this, and I would agree we definitely need some help in the back end of the bullpen. But even the best ones in the game blow games, right? That was a tie ball game, but Edwin Diaz is considered one of the best closers in the game. He got paid like it, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I always have to try to tell myself is that what happened to the Mets tonight, we always feel like it's just us that it's happening to, right. But it's happening all across the league. Yeah. Christopher Morel was absolutely due for a hit like that with the way that, in my opinion, he had been swinging the bat the last week.
Yeah.
So it showed up tonight when they needed it the most.
Yeah, I think
couldn't be more excited for him, man.
Obviously a huge swing for him, but the most important Cub today was absolutely Jameson Taillon.
He was good
absolutely.
No question about it. We talked about it in the pregame show. What do you need to see out of Taillon? I said quality start. I want to see some length, and he gave more than that. 7 1/3. Probably could have gone longer. He could have thrown a complete game had Counsell not gone to the bullpen. Just as far as his pitch count was low, he was limiting hard contact pretty well. Obviously, it was. The third pitch of the game, he gave up that home run.
It was fast.
It
was real quick.
Third pitch of the game, but after that, it was he gave up 2 hits. I don't know. He may have walked one person, but he just had an outstanding performance. And this is 3 starts in now since he came off the IL. Just when started the year on the IL, came off his 3rd start, and he's looked good and he's gotten better every game. And it just looks like, I understood. Going into the year, people just not trusting in Jameson Taillon because he had such a long stretch where it just wasn't either just bad or just not consistent. And he had a better second half, but it wasn't always outstanding, always this is a guy you trust with the ball, right? There was definitely some rougher outings still mixed in there. So I understood the hesitation to like believe in him. But he's come out and 3 starts in, he's looking pretty good. And obviously the Mets, they were up the whole game. They were up 1-0 after the first home run, but he limited them too. As much as
they didn't even have opportunities really to do anything.
As much as Severino limited the Cubs, obviously, to 1 walk for a while, like JMO limited the Mets to the 1 home run and maybe another hit or 2 mixed in there, but limited them and kept them from adding on to that lead. It was
huge. There were a few batted balls that the Mets hit pretty hard, but just to the wrong part of the park. And it's like
a bunch of those went to PCA, who we know can cover a lot of ground.
It's one of those like that's baseball things, and everyone in our YouTube chat or on Twitter or wherever are always complaining about guys not hitting, and sometimes guys are hitting. It's just they're not getting the luck factor of it finding a spot where there's not an outfielder. And this is not to take anything away from Jameson Taillon at all, but there were a few there between that 5th and 7th inning where I was like, damn, this guy got lucky that he hit it to this part of the park or this part. And sometimes you need that, especially the fact that he had 1 strikeout. So, but with that said, he did get a ton of soft contact, because after he gave up the homer to Nimmo, he got weak ground balls hit right back to him. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like after he gave up the home run to Nimmo, and then those things proceeded to play out, you felt like, okay, maybe he's locking in here. And then he really did. As good as Severino was, Taillon was right there in terms of inducing what pitchers are supposed to do when you do give up contact, and a lot of ground balls, and he was just really efficient, going as deep as he did.
78 pitches through 7 1/3. Yeah.
And that's kind of like the pros whenever you don't get a lot of strikeouts, right? But with the chaos and stupidity of baseball, sometimes things just don't work out your way, right? Again, not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying, like, how many times have we seen a lot of those balls not go the Cubs' way as well, Yeah. The ball that O'Neill hit last night that was not hit hard at all, and, he put it in the right spot, Again, 1 strikeout. A lot of those could have gone against Taillon tonight, but they didn't, and the defense showed up tonight too. So, to me, it's a full team effort, but Taillon also gave you the length that you absolutely needed tonight.
He kept them in the ball game. Had he not, or had he given up a few more runs, and you really feel like this one's kind of over. He kept them right there, down 1 run, and as the Cubs, bats were just silent for most of the game. Like it was him going out there and getting them back up to the plate, right? A bunch of 1, 2, 3 innings or whatever. 82.1 mile per hour average exit velo, obviously really good. Only had 3 whiffs on 40 swings, 8% whiff rate, which isn't great, but and he only had the 1 strikeout. But when you're getting softer contact, getting it on the ground, like you're gonna take that trade off. But he also had 17 called strikes, so that called strike whiff percentage of pitches definitely raised it up. So it was again just a really, really good performance from Taillon today. Again, at a time where the Cubs just need it, but they need it from everyone, but especially Taillon, who you're going into this year hoping he's at least a strong number 3, if not your number 2 in the rotation.
He even impressed the godfather of the CHGO podcast, Michael Collado, who said, yes, the pitcher we thought we were getting.
Yeah, there you go.
So we'll talk more Taillon coming up in the next segment, because he was that good tonight, and he has been that good this season. But I'm going to guess that Cody's beer bat chug might be for Mr. Morel, and I've seen a lot of different people trying to guess at how long it's going to take you for this Blue Moon beer bat chug. I've seen some crazy. Godfather's calling 10.6. Did I see somebody say, I believe, Cody, 2.7?
I wish I could just do that.
Somebody say here.
Maybe
Jack's
seconds?
calling 4 seconds.
Maybe
Wrigley Man, 2.7. I believe in you, Cody.
Yeah. Some people
might be let down.
Some people reading what I said about the luckiness and dumbness of baseball. I'm not taking anything away from Taillon. He was great. They needed the length, and he was efficient. I'm just saying, when you only get 1 strikeout, you need some luck to go your way. I think that's fair to say. All right.
I think it's not even just luck, right? Not luck in the sense of like you got lucky. It's just luck. Like the guy put the ball in the play, and the guy put the ball in play, but it didn't land. It didn't find grass. Like that's luck. That's luck.
We talk about how the Cubs defense is supposed to be one of the best in the league, right? Cubs defense was great tonight. Outside of and it didn't end up hurting the Cubs, but that ball to Morel
the Bush didn't
Bush didn't catch or pick or whatever, but it didn't hurt them. And it's been a like we keep saying, it's been a ride with them. We have to give them time, So anyway, I'm not trying.
It's coming up here, 10-2-4 according to John. Everett's calling 10-1. I saw Kevin Wells jumped in with an 11-something.
Do we
Dr. Professor 9.3.
Do we have what's your prediction?
Well, now Sarah, we need to keep in mind that 10.25 is the cutoff for a quality chug.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're the official timer.
According
So when
to
it's all up to you. When
Cody
you
Beer
see
Bats.
that beer hit his lips, Sarah starts the timer.
I'm going to try my best.
As soon as
I
he
haven't
pulls
done
it
this
out
in
of
a
the
while.
As soon as that last swallow of beer goes down, the Blue Moon smoothly goes down, bam, it's off. Regular Man's now saying 8.42. What happened to the 2.7?
Doesn't believe in him.
I want to give the
Eric,
bat
35.
I want to dedicate the beer bat to Taillon, but I can't not do it to Morel because he's been getting a lot of slander. There's a reason I took it for who you got tonight, all right? The guy was absolutely due, and he showed up when you absolutely needed it. He needed someone to step up with Belly and say it out. It did. Like, at the end of the day, you have to score runs to win baseball games, all right?
Yeah, that's how you win baseball games.
And he did it when you absolutely needed it. The guy deserves a ton of credit, all right? Anyway.
Here it goes.
So it's
Here
to
it
Morel.
goes. Cody Delmendo. And begin. Sarah's got the
go.
timer
He's
on.
going.
Is he going to go quick? Now remember, we
Looks
don't
like a
want
good
to
pace.
don't tip it too fast. That's when you get the tidal wave of
drop it
Blue
all
Moon
over your
coming in,
face.
and then you got trouble. And Ryan's got beer in his face. And wow, that was quick.
It was 11.07. I'll have to look back.
I got
accidentally took it
10.92. Herb had 11.49.
Let me look
over
back.
there.
11. I got like 11 point. What was it? 4.7 or something.
Okay, so right around 11.
So maybe not a
Hello.
quality chug, but a near quality chug.
near quality.
Near quality.
Just like this was a near no hitter, but it wasn't a no hitter.
Actually, I don't know if Gary, that was his guess or if that was he recorded it, but it's pretty close to what
11.32. Gary
about
called
what it was.
11.32.
I don't know if that was his guess or
I
not.
thought it seemed fast. It felt like only 7 seconds of my life.
Well,
that middle part.
I like your clock. Your clock
it
goes
was
significantly slower.
My mental clock was like, wow, that had to be like 7 seconds long. That was very fast.
Yeah.
No.
Well, anyway, we're gonna get.
Tim says under 10.
We're gonna have a random 8 or 7 second one eventually. Let's just remember, it used to be really bad. So.
That was equal to 5 1/3 innings, says Cody Burton.
5 1/3 innings and like 3 runs. Like not quite a
I
quality
looked
start. but
back and
close.
got the official time.
Yeah.
It was 11.
I kept the team in the game,
64.
brother.
11.64?
Yep.
11.64 is official
I
time.
kept the team in the
11.2.
game.
Okay.
I'm a solid number 3 starter. Bro.
It's under 12. You only have one that's not under 12. You had one rough start. We throw that one out.
Yeah.
The rest have been under 12. But yeah, I agree with the Morel thing. We said that going into it. Like, they desperately need the power from them with those two guys gone.
Or just any kind of production at all. I mean,
No, they need the power. Like,
for sure.
they just don't have a home run hitting team anyway. They don't have
Well, with Seiya and Bellinger
with
out,
those guys
for
out.
sure.
They really don't.
Well, it's like we said. It was
And
his,
Bush is quieted down with the home runs,
Yeah.
and it's like
He's going through an
Morel's gotta
adjustment
be that
period.
guy.
Morel hadn't hit a home run, we said, since April 9th.
9th.
20 days. It's been almost 3 weeks since he actually got one. You know,
I like
trying
what
to-
Godfather said. Maybe it's because Sarah's the producer.
Don't
trying
let
to
the
quickly
facts
look.
get away with a good story.
Yeah.
what
There
the
you go.
slump's been
Believe
for
it.
him.
could have
But-
been the donuts.
Yeah, it could have been the donuts. Luke bought
Pre-game
donuts,
donuts.
and they won. So I don't know. I mean, it's the Morel thing. He the only reason that I'd been really like, feeling like things were turning around is I just don't feel like he was striking out a ton. Now he struck out 3
Yeah.
times yesterday, but overall I've been putting the ball in play.
We got to clip that one off. He just hasn't been striking out. I mean, he struck
One
out 3
game.
times yesterday.
One game, Luke. His
I
K
know.
rate is still well
It was
below
the
league
juxta-
average.
It
Like
was the
20.
juxtaposition of you saying it the second
I'm just
after you said
saying,
no
though,
striking
like,
out.
No,
it's
I think-
significantly lower than what it was last year.
I think it's like closer to 20%. It's definitely under 21%, which I looked in, like, even in minor league ball, he wasn't hitting 21% or less, or was striking out less than 21%.
We're the
of time.
safest skydiving school in the world. We haven't had any deaths except for the 4 last week.
So
all right,
the,
maybe I didn't word it great.
Well,
all right.
so the home run, like I said, April 9th. So I'm just looking back from starting with the game after his last home run, April 10th. So that's 16 games from April 10th to April 28th. No home runs, 2 doubles, He was hitting 123, had a 227 on base percentage, and a 158 slugging. So the power wasn't there. He wasn't hitting for a ton of power. He wasn't obviously
really
just wasn't
doing
getting
much of
hits, right? But like you said, he wasn't striking out a lot, and that was huge. And that's when you look at what his slumps had been previously in the big leagues, it always felt like it was a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah.
Just strikeouts were starting to pile up and
To
pile
where
up.
you
so,
don't even feel like you can put him in the lineup.
yeah.
You know?
So the fact that he wasn't striking out as much during what is the last two and a half or whatever weeks that was, the fact that he wasn't striking out, not that you were like completely confident that it was just a rough patch, but you're like, okay, he's not seeing the ball well. Like he's not swinging at everything. He's not just completely throwing away the plate approach that had made him so good for the first week and a half. Like there's still, yes, he's slumping, but he's obviously still has the plate approach that you need to see, and he's just got to bust out of it. Yeah, he had a better weekend, and obviously today was the home run. So hopefully a sign of things to come for him, right? Like,
And he still was like he was still walking. I just feel like it hasn't felt like a slump that we saw last year. I feel like
or even the year before.
That's kind of like my point, is that you just felt like he was going to turn it around soon. And I don't feel like I really felt like that in August of last year when he was horrific. You know what I mean? And to me, that's a big deal. That's a sign of a guy developing. That's a sign of a guy growing. It's a sign of a guy getting better. Again, 24 years old. I'm not giving up on this dude. He's not going to hit like he did the first, 10 to 15 games for an entire 162-game season.
He's probably not going to hit like this either, like what he was coming into today.
You need more consistency, I guess. Like even whenever he's going through his slumps, he can't hit what? Would you say 123 or whatever it was?
Something like that.
You know,
in the 100s.
Right. Like he can't hit like that. He's still got to find a way to get on base.
Yeah, 123, 385 OPS.
Right. Like that's awful, right? Like I get why people
games.
were worried and why people were upset, and even I, to a certain standpoint, was frustrated. But I felt like there was some bad batted ball luck in recent games. I like the fact that you still saw walks. It felt like the turnaround was coming soon. So hopefully that home run tonight, in the biggest moment of the game, starts a nice little stretch. You know what I mean? Because the Cubs desperately need it.
And you throw him 97 over the plate, good chance you're going to get hurt. Super chat from our guy Braggs. We reverse jinxed the Cubs to win in the 8th on Bears After Dark. Credit to us. Big of me to super chat this. Credit to you for reading it. But more importantly, credit to us for reading it.
Yeah, more importantly,
that's the most important thing.
Credit to Braggs for giving money back to the company that employs him.
Hey, drive home a winner this April after visiting our partner Ray Chevrolet. They're sharing their best offers of the year right now. Make your way to Ray Chevrolet on Route 12 in Fox Lake to join in on the savings. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, you're always able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. Plus, you can find the perfect tailgate vehicle. For a limited time, they're offering 0% financing for 72 months on new Silverados with over 100 available. And to top it all off, they're pricing over 125 vehicles under $20,000. Seriously, guys, can pricing get more affordable? Get a free oil change at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake. When you mention us, CHGO, a free oil change, all you need to do is mention those 4 key letters, CHGO, when scheduling your oil change. Start off the year right. Schedule it by tomorrow, April 30th. Time's running out on you. Visit Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Find new roads.
And tonight, if you had Christopher Morel to hit a homer in your Prize Picks entry, you might have made a lot of money if you hit all the rest of the things in your Prize Picks entry. Prize Picks, the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America, the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Spring training is over and baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your Prize Picks entry, whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs. Take your pick of more or less and add them to your Prize Picks entry. Yesterday, I made a Prize Picks entry. I had Juan Soto over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Freddie Freeman over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Trey Turner over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And then Josh Naylor. And I'm pretty sure I hit 3 of the 4. I'm pretty sure Trey Turner had a good game. I can't remember. But I stopped looking at it after Josh Naylor just absolutely did nothing yesterday against Bryce Elder, who to me isn't that good. So I came very close. But whenever you do win, I'm telling you, it's a feeling like no other, okay? Go to prizepicks.com and be smarter than me. And go there, go to prizepicks.com/CHGO and use code CHGO for first deposit matchup to $100. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO and use code CHGO. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy, folks.
That easy.
Beautiful. Hey, guys, Christopher Morel provided the power for today's game presented by Illinois pork producers. Savor the flavor, savor the gains, and celebrate any occasion by enjoying the best pork produced by Illinois pig farmers. Morel with the go-ahead 2-run bomb in the 9th inning off Edwin Diaz. First homer since the 9th of April, and the Cubs go on to win 3-1. But as we were mentioning earlier in this podcast, they could not have done that. They would not have won this game without Jameson Taillon going 7 1/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 78 pitches, and going toe-to-toe with Luis Severino, who took a no-hitter into the 8th inning. The thing about Taillon is you now have Wicks on the injured list and Hendricks on the injured list, and we'll have an update on Steele on the injured list. And, of course, you had Taillon earlier. But you also have a lot of relievers like Smiley, Merriweather. Like, the list goes on and on. The pitching staff has been decimated by injuries. And they have needed somebody to step up. So for him to come back from an injury, missing the first part of the season, and to throw like this, I saw somebody at the very beginning of the chat say, Taillon, number 2 starter. I think it was all in bold print. And that's it. That's exactly what they need him to be. Yeah. You need Steele to come back and be the ace, and you need Taillon to be this guy, and then you need Imanaga to continue doing what he's doing, and have Assad continue what he's doing, and all of a sudden, when Horton comes up, maybe on June 1st, maybe not, all of a sudden you have a really good rotation going by the middle of the season, hopefully.
No, yeah, and even if it's like, those 3. If it's Steele, obviously, I think we still believe he could pitch like he did last year. If Imanaga can at least stay to a level close like this, and Taillon looks more like he's looked the last 3 games, obviously, and in the second half of 2023, I think you're looking at a really strong rotation, at least the top 3 of the rotation. It may not be it may not be the most intimidating rotation. I think, obviously that wouldn't be the Dodgers or anything like that, but you're looking at 3 guys, if they continue to keep it up, that you feel like you can trust in a playoff series at least. So, and that's what we, when the Cubs didn't make the playoffs last year, but had they, I don't know if they had a 3-man or a 3-headed monster like that or anything close to that, right? 3 guys that you felt like you could trust on the mound in a playoff game, like for sure.
And
long way to go, but like the 3 of those guys could be that, and like, you go to was it the wild card round or whatever they call it, like 3 games, right? You win. That's like 3 guys that you feel can get you there.
It's also how you avoid big losing streaks during the season. Like, one's coming. I know they haven't lost 3 straight games, and this stopped them from losing 3 in a row from the first time this season. But when you get at least every other day, and it's not just one pitcher, it allows you to cut down on losing streaks that can kill you at the end of the year.
Yeah. I mean, Taillon is such a, extreme in a way, because it was a question coming into the year.
Yeah, it was.
So if that extreme goes in the Cubs' favor, then that could add some wins to their win total. Like, he was a big reason why they won tonight, right? And I'm not gonna bank on, more outings of 7-8 innings from Taillon. However, if he's eating quality innings, keeping you in games.
He did say innings are sexy a couple years ago.
He did say that.
Yeah.
He did say that.
He did say innings are sexy.
I remember watching that and was like, man, if he's good, we're going to tweet that every single time. And
7
then he
innings
wasn't
is
good for
definitely
like
sexy.
3.5 months, so I forgot about it until this moment. Anyway, like his production is key to this team making the playoffs. It just is. But as far as a rotation, right now, absolutely. But if he's like anywhere close to this as the season goes along, you add in Cade Horton eventually. Maybe this team gets Kyle Hendricks right. Maybe you continue to see Imanaga continue to do what he's doing, and then Jordan Wicks will be back.
Yeah, or Assad keeps doing what he's been
or Assad.
doing, right?
Like you got guys who've shown who can be effective and go deep into games for you in some aspects, right? Maybe not 7 and 8 inning outings like tonight for Taillon all the time, but keep you in games, give you a chance to win. They have guys who can do that. So I think the ceiling for this pitching staff is pretty high. The floor is obviously kind of low. We've seen it in some parts of the season already, but I do think that the ceiling is high and they have yet to even touch it. So, this guy keep grinding away as great as this win is tonight. You still got to keep finding a way to grind out wins because this one was wild.
Speaking of innings for starters, my guy, the stats cruncher, Chris Kampko over at Marquee, says Cubs improved to 11-0 this season when their starter goes at least 5 1/3 innings. Hat tip to our guy, Chris Antonasi. That's, yeah. When a guy goes 5 1/3, 6 innings, push towards 7, you usually feel good about the results.
Yeah, and that's what I looked at it. I think it was going into that Red Sox series. So after this past series at home, and I had looked at it, and I don't remember the exact numbers, but the rotation at the time going into that Red Sox series had thrown the second fewest innings in baseball among rotations. And obviously, like Luke Little's opening start, it factors into that. And Imanaga's, like the rain delay that cost him probably a couple more innings. That all factors into it. But just overall, it was still like it was 94, I think, and that was the second fewest in baseball by rotations. And the bullpen had thrown the second most innings among bullpens in baseball. So we just continue to see, and then that stat helps show that if they can just get these guys to continue to go further in games while being effective, further in games and keeping in the team, keep giving this team a chance to win. Just one, that means you're using fewer relievers every game. Those guys are a little bit fresher. Those guys aren't being used as much. So when you are in the close games like these, you can turn to your best guys, your best arms that at that point hopefully are a little more rested because of not having to be overused just to cover innings, right? So that's just something we always talk about, and it's something that Craig Counsell talked about, needing to get length from starters heading into the stretch of 16 games in 16 days. So far they've obviously, like, the weekend was a little different, but the last series at home, and then now it's at Taillon tonight for sure. You've seen that. You've seen these guys go and give some innings. I think Imanaga also went 6 innings. So in Boston. Yep. So you're getting that length that you've been wanting to see, right? You guys have been struggling to get through 5, but now you're starting to get 6 plus, and that's just a really good sign for where they need to go with this rotation and what they need out of this rotation.
That's a good sign, and also in the live YouTube chat, which is the best way to enjoy the CHGO experience. Other good signs. Barb is here. Barb is back. Everybody was worried about Barb. We hadn't seen Barb, so the godmother is here. She's doing well, and yes, we are live. And yes, Sarah is back producing, running the 1s and 2s, Barb.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw Charlie the Bacon guy giving a shout-out in there. By the way, tried his French toast rub. Ooh, it hit just right.
No doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt.
That's good on bacon, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Braggs has jumped over at. He can't. It just wasn't enough to talk Bears. He wants to talk little Cubs now. Braggs is in. He'll be there, by the way.
Friday
120 Club. We'll all be there. Ryan will be in the press box. We'll all be there.
Maybe I'll be able to stop by and say hi. I haven't had a chance the last couple times.
Well, and we're planning a live post-game show. Some way, some form, some fashion, you'll be part of the post-game show. Whether it's joining from the stall in the press box
Bathroom
or if you
stall,
actually make the walk down.
I'll walk over in my in the Clark the Cub costume.
We do need to find like a sound effect of like a toilet flushing. So like,
So whenever I hop in.
Yeah, like, live
I'm on
reports, they bring in let's go now to our live
Sarah,
reporter. It's
don't
like,
do it for 'em.
ours should be kawoosh. It does look a little bit. It's just a plain white wall. I know exactly where
I
you're
get
sitting.
it.
It's not
I
your
get it.
fault. It's a little bit like a stall. He's like,
like,
it's not
come
my
on.
fault.
I don't know what you need me to
It's
do.
not your fault.
I don't know what you want me to do. It's
not your
You want me
fault.
to carry?
You should have a sign that you
posters?
put up behind it that says, "This is not a
Not a
bathroom."
bathroom.
Or funnier would be to put the word "men's"
Okay.
a sign over your shoulder.
Anyway, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun on Friday.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Friday 120 Club. Meet us
What,
out
2-0?
at
2-0
2-0,
on Friday 120
2-0.
Murphy's. Yeah, if they lose, I'm gonna get blamed.
Yeah, probably.
No, Barb will still blame me. I know.
That's
she will.
true.
That's true.
She still will.
Yeah, so obviously Morel was big. Taillon was big. We'll talk about some of those injury updates coming up in just a bit. But first, want to tell you about our friends at Blue Moon. Some beers say they're brewed for baseball, but only Blue Moon is brewed by baseball. Beer and baseball just go together, and no beer goes better than the one that was literally born in a ballpark. Blue Moon was created at Coors Field in Denver. It's the natural choice all season long, and this week's weather will be screaming, "Hey, buddy, give me a Blue Moon." 70s, dare I say, mid-70s this week. Nothing beats watching baseball or lounging by the pool or sitting in a park, legally, with an ice-cold Blue Moon. Blue Moon was brewed by baseball to give you a dose of nostalgia and get you excited for the new season. A beer this good only comes around once in a Blue Moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Bring it to the ballpark with you with Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale. It's one of a kind every time. Get Blue Moon delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/CHGO to see your delivery options. That's get.bluemoonbeer.com/CHGO. Blue Moon, made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
I'm looking at Game Time right now. We just talked about the Friday 120 Club. I just wanted to see what it looks like. Brewers at Cubs. First time Craig Counsell's managing against his old franchise. It's not in Milwaukee. That may be a little bit different, which we do have some for that game. But the Brewers will be in town. Craig Counsell, obviously, in a separate dugout. And if you're trying to go to Friday's game, whether you want to join the 120 Club or not, you got to use Game Time to get those tickets because you can't find better deals anywhere else for those tickets than Game Time. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Sarah's actually got it up right now on the YouTube chat, but if you're listening to the pod, I will just describe to you the fact that every time you click on one of these things, you can actually see the exact view from your seat. So
These tickets are so cheap.
Yeah, they're so cheap. Can't find a better deal anywhere. But you use Game Time.
$12.
You use Game Time to buy these tickets. You can see exactly what your view is going to be before you even get to the ballpark. I think that's my favorite thing about Game Time is the fact that they have that and that they show you all the full price with everything, fees and everything right up front. So you never have to worry about not or just surprise fees that you didn't know about. Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. All-in prices show your total up front so you know you're getting a great deal without hidden fees. Buy tickets in seconds with 2 taps. Game Time is obsessed with finding ways to help you save money on tickets. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute seats. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. With zone deals, you pick the section and Game Time picks the seats for an average of 18% savings. And the Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
I got my ticket. The bosses bought it, but I got my ticket. They bought it through Game Time.
Absolutely.
It's right here on my phone.
Yeah.
Ready
Got
to
my
roll.
ticket too.
Why would you use anything else?
If I can
Sometimes
get
the
up
best.
early enough, I'm going to beat Bleacher Jeff to that spot. Just so we have a little friction.
Just a little
I
friction.
like a little friction. I probably haven't sat in the bleachers since like 2006.
Well, that means I got to get a photo with Luke in the bleachers so we can commemorate the moment.
2006, 2007, something like that.
What game? Were you at the one where Henry Blanco hit a walk-off
I don't
single
remember. Actually, I got a...
on my 10th birthday?
I remember going because I wore a jacket. I had like a zip-up windbreaker. I liked the jacket. I forgot it in the bleachers, so I lost the jacket, and I got a spider bite that gave me one of those like...
Ugh.
I got home and I was like, "What is that?"
It's a little
like
big old
baseball
ball.
size, like
Oof.
welt on my leg.
What was
Spider bite?
What was worse, that or when you got the bird
Pooped on by
your
the bird
head?
as a kid. Yeah, the pooped on and stung by a bee on my very first game was.
So which one was
Ever.
worse between those two?
The
poop and the bee?
pooped on and stung by a bee as a kid
Yeah.
is tragic,
That's pretty tough.
but it didn't stop me.
Rays up 1-0 in the bottom of the ninth. From Brewers got a guy on second base, leadoff double by Sal Frelick. But 1 out, they managed to get Contreras out, who's been their hottest hitter. So 2 outs away from being in first place. For everyone listening back to this, hopefully there's going to be some celebration
Well.
at the end.
Probably not going to happen now because you mentioned it.
We've done this before. It's not the first time, and it's
No.
worked out in our favor before.
I really thought Jesse Rogers was going to jinx us into an
I did too.
extra inning game today.
Vanilla Chill
Tweeted.
says, and I didn't get turned into a spider with that bite. That sucks. No, that's how I got my 2010 vision. That makes
Spider-Man.
me.
No, that's how Luke.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
that's
well, I
how
didn't
Luke's
become
been go-
Spider-Man, but that is why I have like vision. Like,
Well, that's how Luke was
Something.
going to Cubs games in like 1893 and still looks like he's 50.
oh, and it's also how I've won Who You Got and predicted 83 wins last season. Predicted the Bellinger signing on the 24th in the 24th hour.
Credit to that spider for
The
making
24th year.
Luke
It's all
so
due to the
smart.
spider bite.
just superior intelligence from Luke Stuckmeyer.
Okay, so do we want to talk about these injury updates?
Yeah, so I mean, here's the deal. This is from Megan Montemurro. Said Steele's rehab start is in with Iowa coming up on Wednesday. They'll see what happens after that. Hendricks trending toward a rehab start later this week, but that hasn't been finalized. I'm more excited about Steele. I'm okay if Hendricks takes a little while right now to figure it out. Seiya Suzuki too soon for a rehab start, but he worked out Saturday and Sunday, so he's resting and recovering today, and then he'll begin rehab process again tomorrow. Like, the Steele part is exciting
Yeah.
because you figure even if it goes fairly well tomorrow, he either could return to the team or play it safe and go one more rehab start.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be the full month of April.
Yeah. Well, which, like, when he went down, it was. I mean,
At first we were thinking
it looked
6 weeks,
pretty
right?
bad. It was 6 weeks, right? And then even just knowing he wasn't going to pitch the rest of April, you're like, man, like they're really going to need these rotation guys to step up in his place. And for the most part, they have, right? Like we're sitting here, there's 6 games over or 7 games over 500. Is that what it is? 18 and 11. So despite Steele not pitching since opening day, despite Kyle Hendricks not pitching well and them losing, I think it was 4 of the 5 starts he made, they've managed to have a pretty good record heading into the end of April. And I mean, that's commendable for the rest of the guys that they've managed to keep this team afloat without their best starter going every 5 days. Like that's huge. And so, yeah, it was rehab start on May 1st. What is that? Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then potentially could return after that. Whether it is or he needs another rehab start, like it's close. And the fact that you've kept the ship sailing, and now you're the captain of your rotation, so to speak, is getting closer to return. You would have taken that for sure, even knowing when he went down on opening day. People would have been happy with that.
Well, when the injury first happened, worse thoughts went through my head. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know it was a hamstring. I didn't know if it was his knee. I don't know what it was. Even with my spidey senses, I couldn't tell quite
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, like the Cubs do when they get to second
Yeah.
base. 83 wins. Sellinger signing on the 24th hour.
Sure.
Oh, like you don't believe that's true. You know.
Listen, all I know is
He knows.
that Steele's huge, but the fact that Bellinger might actually come off the IL, on just the 15 days or whatever it is, like, it's defying logic to me.
With a cracked ribs.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I don't understand. Like, someone needs to explain to me like I'm 5 years old,
Yeah.
I guess.
I had bruised ribs once, and I thought I was going to die.
We legitimately
I fractured
thought
a rib and I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be a month and a half.
I had ribs
2
from-
months, if anything.
I had ribs from Sweet Baby Ray's once.
You had Sweet Baby Ray ribs?
Yeah.
That's one of your
So-
better jokes right there. Save that. Clip that off.
Thank you.
Anyway,
I'm
like,
getting there.
By the way, Sweet Baby Ray's is the best barbecue sauce. Okay, go ahead, Cody.
obviously Steele's thing is like him coming back sooner than I think a lot of us thought is huge.
Yeah.
But again, the pitching staff has found a way to kind of hold up. This offense has really taken a hit without Bellinger and Say in the
true.
lineup. They need one of those two
Yeah.
back. Like I need oxygen, bro.
But that's why the pitching staff doing what they've done has been so massive, because today is like the prime example of it. They got no hit for 7+ innings. I think it was going into the 8th inning, and the pitching staff, Jameson Taillon obviously did most of the work, but pitching staff keeps them in the game. Like that's what we keep saying, is just like this is the prime example of why pitching and building the pitching depth was so huge for this team. And so even when the offense takes a hit, losing 2 of their most important bats, and guys are slumping, and guys, not timely hitting, not always being there, the pitching staff doing what they've done, especially the rotation the last week or so, has been huge and just continuing to help this team pile up wins. It's a lot of guys stepping up and pitching well, and again, just giving those guys a chance to win. It's huge.
The hook. My name is Cody, bro. All right.
Corey.
Sorry that I keep saying again, but at least
Again, your name is Cody.
My name is Cody, bro. All right.
My name
Sorry
is-
for saying again too
my
much.
name
A lot of
Somebody-
people say that I say too much. I've been trying to stop that too.
More importantly, somebody doesn't like barbecue sauce. Who said that? What?
How can you not like barbecue sauce?
Ryan, what's wrong with you? Ryan, I'm
Ryan.
sorry,
Ryan.
Ryan. I love your name, but no such thing as
our
good
good
barbecue.
friend Gary, talking about the offense, our good friend Gary just said something. I think it was like, or they could call someone up from, or call up real hitters from AAA and send down Mervis.
Right, this
But
Slaughter
who-
guy I've
but-
been talking
yeah, I was
about.
gonna say,
Yeah,
is
the guy
is
that you've been talking about.
Yeah.
Raving about him. Like, you
Yeah.
got to see this guy hit.
The first time I've ever
He's
heard.
a multi-talented infielder with power. He's a utility guy. He'll play anywhere.
We've
Anywhere.
heard you talk
He's
about
Ben
him for
Zobrist
months.
with massive power.
He's the secret weapon.
We've heard you talk about him for months, and
Yeah.
I have not seen anyone as high on him as you.
I wear my Slaughter jersey on Friday. Barb likes Sweet Baby Rays. Tomorrow's game is Assad versus Manaea. I haven't watched what Manaea was doing, but at one point he was a guy I thought, man, I wish the Cubs had.
That was
Oh, I
back when
thought
the
that was-
A's traded him, right?
Yeah, I was always thinking, man, that's a guy that Cubs should go after. And if I'm not mistaken, he hasn't been that great. He hasn't been that
Yeah.
great. Now, Assad, on the other hand,
His best years
Shoving,
were
always.
His best years were definitely with the A's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember he threw a
Yeah.
no hitter with the A's, but
Did
he was with San Francisco last year.
He was a San
not very
Francisco
good.
last year. San Diego in 2022. Yeah, no, the last couple of years haven't been as good for him, obviously. His 2019, he had a 1.21 ERA, but this year, 1-1, 3.33 ERA over 5 starts. Hitters have a 2.33 average, a 1.44 WHIP. He's got 27 strikeouts and 24 in the third innings, but also 14 walks in that time. So, yeah, not a guy that you look at it and feel like is going to shut down the Cubs lineup again. Like a guy you probably feel a little bit better about the Cubs going in and being able to get a hit before the 8th inning, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like we're going to get the same type of pitching performance that Severino gave the Mets tonight. Now that I said that, he probably will. But, I feel pretty good going into tomorrow with this momentum.
Yeah, it is. And momentum isn't always I think in some ways it can be overplayed.
Sure.
But flipping this, going into a game that you probably feel better about the pitching matchup.
Yeah.
Is real. I think it is real. And so to have come back, won this game, and now you're 1 win away from winning the series with 2 games to play, that's where that momentum shift is real to me. And, again, a guy that you're not as intimidated by and feel like this team could actually do some damage against.
Sure.
Look at this olive branch. Gary's offering that I come sit with him and the family when Slaughter gets called up. I'll have his...
You'll be treated like royalty also.
Brewers just lost. Cubs are officially in first place. I didn't jinx it. Credit to me.
Will they ever be out of first place again this season?
I sure as hell hope
Is
not.
today the day we mark it? Morel slammed them into first.
I thought
slugged them into first.
I was expecting a little bit more of a reaction, like a little louder. I thought you were going to yell.
I mean, if it was June, something like
act
that.
like you've been there before.
Maybe,
maybe
act like you've been there before.
Brewers fans still treat Game 163 like it's the World Series, and that was like 5 years ago. No, 6 years ago.
I don't like to pile on Wisconsin fans knowing that the Bears have a better quarterback now and are the pride of the division and all that stuff.
I was thinking Garrett Johnson just read my mind that maybe a second beer bet for that.
Oh, for first place. For first place.
I'm not feeling it tonight.
No, he's not feeling it.
Not today. It's April. It's April.
We've been there before.
The reason I did two a few post-game shows ago was because I did not live up to what I consider a quality chug.
Oh, is that when you dropped it all over your face?
Yeah, I didn't even spit it up like Luke tried to perceive to people. I tilted it back too far.
Created a tidal wave and it sort of splashed and it was all over his shirt and then it was dripping down his chin.
Right. So then I did another one before the end of the show and I redeemed myself a little bit. Tonight, I'm just gonna go troll on the internet after the show.
If somebody out there wants to, record their beer bat chug
and tweet
it to us at CHGO Cubs, we'll show it.
For sure.
We'll show it as long as it's Blue Moon. We don't want some sort of swill beer,
You know what I haven't talked about yet?
What?
Nick Madrigal put in the ball in play.
Bush getting the walk.
Can we talk about how even though Madrigal put the ball in play and he can't force guys to do certain things when he hits the ball. However, let's just accept the fact that the third baseman should have thrown home.
Probably. Take
that.
Like that's a break for sure.
He probably had a better shot getting him at home than he did to turn the double play because of the slow roller. What was it, like 49 miles per hour exit velo, something like that? It was obviously a broken bat, right? Like he
didn't hit it very hard.
Only
so I feel
the handle was left in his hand after the
he
swing.
didn't hit it hard, so I feel like the automatic play there is to go home when it was with a guy on third base and less than 2 outs. But listen, man, like.
Well, in this
it's decisions like that in a 1-0 game that can sway a team winning or not,
Yeah, well, and that's what we always talk about, just putting the ball in play and trying to make some magic happen. That, man, he's like, and I think that's what I love about baseball, just in general, is just guys hit the ball. You have the perfect swing, great, exit velo, launch angle, you get the barrel on the ball, all that, and it might just go right at someone. And then you broken bat, ground ball to the third baseline, like whatever it was, 50 mile per hour exit velo or whatever, and you get on base, you get a run in. Like that's just the stupidity of baseball that kind of stuff happens. But like it obviously worked out great for the Cubs today, as it didn't work out so great for them yesterday in Boston. But that's just the kind of breaks you need sometimes.
But I know there were people certainly on Twitter that when he came in the game were saying, "Why Madrigal here?" Right? And
I didn't hate it.
I don't want to give him. I don't want to give him too much credit for a bat broken off in his hand that ended up not being a double play or an out at home. But he did put it in play. Who would you have liked? Is there somebody else you would have liked in that situation? We kind of all talked about. We're like, well, who do you bring in here if it's not Madrigal?
Yeah, I think that's the point is that you need the ball in play. Like
Now, if Slaughter were on the roster,
lefty on the mound, perhaps you go to Wisdom or Canario.
Maybe.
Right? I just feel like
a strikeout
for
hurts
one of,
too.
Right, exactly. Because again, with one out, if it was 0 outs, I think you can risk it with one of those guys.
Yeah.
But I think considering who's on the mound and how he was throwing, you got to go with a guy whose contact rate is pretty high, has been pretty high over the course of his career. And as much as I've sat here and yelled and complained about Madrigal, the one thing that he does that is beneficial to the Cubs or to a team in general is the fact that he will put the ball in play more often than not. And in that moment, he did, and thank God the guy didn't throw it home.
It was still Severino on the mound. Oh wait, you said did you?
Yeah, I said Severino was on the mound. Yeah.
I thought you said lefty on the mound. But I think you said if there was a lefty. On the
Yeah,
mound.
if there was a lefty, you know.
No, if there was, yeah. But no, I agree with you guys that like if you're gonna have him on the roster, this is why he's on the roster to put the ball in play, and it doesn't always work out. We've seen it like grounding into a double play with guys on first and third with one out, right? Like it's happened, but. His role right now as a bench bat, sometimes defensive replacement, whatever, you're putting him in there to get the ball, to get the bat on the ball and put it in play and see what you could do with that. And it worked out today. It doesn't always work out, but that's why he's on this team right now. Or at least that's what his role is on this team right now, is to be able to do that. We know he's got really good bat to ball skills. That's what he excels at, that's what he succeeds at. And even if it doesn't turn into a hit, even if that's what he does. And so in that instance, it made sense to go with Madrigal.
I mean, it was little things that led to an unlikely comeback, right? You had a walk, you had a broken bat, you had Dansby's kind of flare hit. You had a lot of different things going. And then obviously the Morel home run was
Crushed.
That was 97 left over the plate.
Yeah.
He deserved that.
Yeah.
But all the things that happened leading up to that point were harmless by themselves, but when you added them all together, it gave you an opportunity.
And one thing, I feel like I need to give a lot of credit to Swanson too for putting the ball in play. I mean, he's been getting a lot of.
Sarah
hops in.
Yeah.
No one loves Swanson more than Sarah. He's been getting a lot of slander, a lot of people talking about how much money he makes and all this, which is wild to me considering people talk about the Cubs not spending enough money. But whatever. The fact of the matter is he got the hit. He got the first hit of the game. They were getting no hit in the 8th inning, man. Like he got a hit when the Cubs needed it. You got the leadoff walk, and then Swanson comes up and finds a way to put the ball in play. Broken bat, whatever. We've talked about it before, and for our own reasons on frustration and all of this when things don't go the Cubs' way, right? When you put the ball in play, good things can happen, and no matter if it's hit 49 miles per hour like Madrigal to drive in that run, or hit 105 miles per hour or whatever it was by Morel. It's all, in some aspects, it's all the same, because if you put the ball in play, you're forcing the defense to have to make a play, right? And Swanson, again, in the late in the game, they needed him to do something, and he did. And then that led to Madrigal driving in Bush. So I think, to me, it was a total team effort outside of Taillon, getting the, going deep in the game and all that, but it's the little things like that honestly people don't think about or want to give credit to or whatever, as the season goes along. Like, I understand the offense has been struggling. I understand that no one likes the lineups right now. But at the same time, what can you do with all these injuries when your two best offensive players are hurt? Like, you have to find a way to win games one way or another. And that's honestly all I'm trying to say, is that you need guys like Swanson, you need guys like Morel to find a way to be productive. And tonight, I wish they didn't wait till the 8th and 9th inning to do it, but they did it, and Taillon kept them in the game. There's two of those three guys I just said, some of the highest paid players on the team. So, tomorrow when Swanson starts the game with 2 strikeouts and someone tweets at me, Swanson sucks, I guess we forgot about the homer he hit to win the game against the Astros last week, and I guess we're going to forget about the hit to break the no-hitter tonight too. But
No,
I'm just saying that these little things like that matter.
Yeah.
They really do. So think
Matthew
about
Gregory
that.
says Madrigal feels like he's getting too much credit here. Maybe, but we're all trying to be nice tonight.
No, I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and you don't give him the credit. But
Right.
this is what he's put in the game to do.
Yeah, I still haven't changed my stance on Madrigal. All I'm
Yeah.
saying is that tonight he did what the Cubs needed him to do, and that's all I can ask from someone when I'm sitting on my couch. All right.
Real quick before we get to who you got, did Neris make you nervous?
For like
Yeah.
5
The
minutes.
answer is yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk two guys in the ninth.
But those strikeouts were huge though, and that was something that people have talked about. You know, his whiff rate's around the same as Adbert, right? So, you know, to see him get those strikeouts in the big moment is huge. That doesn't mean that I am not ignoring the walks or anything, but when you strike guys out, you avoid chaos.
Yeah.
And he did that in a big moment. I think the one thing that he has over the rest of the entire bullpen is experience. He's been there, been in the postseason, been in the World Series. He's got the experience. I know it's a roller coaster with him because he's been walking too many dudes. But tonight, he came through when you needed him to come
Yeah.
through at the end of the day. So I'm gonna lay off
And
my
that-
nervousness with him for a night. He needs to not walk any more people if he's going to be that guy, which I know he won't be by the end of the year. But
And
For
he
now.
came through compared to the Mets' $100 million closer who gave up.
That's
who
right.
took
true.
the loss.
It's true.
It would have been painful to come back
After last night,
and then have the game and then lose it
Yeah.
after having a
Yeah.
win there. But anyways,
And the other thing is Leiter bouncing back from yesterday.
Yeah.
A couple, nothing crazy, nothing too special, but comes back and gets 2 outs, no walks, no hits, like nothing. Just got him out of that inning when they
Right.
went to him instead of Taillon.
I think one of those balls would have left the park if it was at Wrigley.
Yeah, it was that the fly out?
The fly out.
the one fly
Yeah.
out, only ballpark, Wrigley
Yeah, to
Field.
Nimmo.
Yeah.
Nimmo had that
Yeah,
one.
Nimmo.
Yeah. Only
Yeah.
at Wrigley, it would have been a home run,
Right.
but anywhere
Would have
else it
left
wasn't.
all, but it would have left one park out of the entire league, and it was Wrigley Field. So, again, like that's kind of like the baseball gods giving back because last night against the Red Sox, Swanson hit one down the right the right field line.
Yeah.
And it would have left 28 of 30 ballparks.
It's an
Instead, it was a great catch by whoever's playing right field for them. And the Cubs don't get a run, So,
Yeah.
baseball gods giveth, gods taketh.
And then the
Baseball
guys
is
give it back.
stupid. I love it and I hate it. When the Cubs win, I love it. When they lose, I want to just drink bleach.
The Cubs stole a win from the Mets tonight, and Cody stole a who you got win from me
Yep.
because he had Morel. That was really the high point of his night. Stealing who you got. I had Talkman sacrificing his body and blood, being hit by a pitch, and then a double, which at that time was was the only extra base hit at the time. And so I thought I had it.
I thought you did too.
Then Morel takes it deep, and he
Yeah.
steals one. So now,
Off one of the best closers in the game.
updated standings, I fall to 9-15. Corey falls to 5-20. Cody improves to 9-17. Ryan falls to 3-22.
Yeah, I still got to go
Brendan,
through that.
well, where is your appeal?
I said I have to go through it. You think I was going to have enough
Brendan,
time to go
2 and
through
16.
all 20 whatever
Luke
games?
did it in 5 innings.
Yeah, in a 3-hour game, not 2.
And I did it wearing readers.
I only had 2 hours to get it. No way I could
Despite
have
the
gotten it
fact
done
I have
today.
special vision.
Yeah, no, I really thought Ryan was going to sit over there and look them all up tonight.
I did too.
I wouldn't have been able to finish them.
He's
He
going
was
to do
so
it tonight
locked
when
into
he
the
gets
game,
home.
he forgot to eat dinner for a while. All of a sudden, he was like,
Yeah.
I better eat. It's 9. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
close
it
to
was
game time.
Darren Johnson super chat, $9.99. Cubs stole that one. First place, baby. Better record than the Dodgers. How about those Cubbies? Great show,
There
gents.
you go.
Yeah,
Thank
better
you, Dad.
record than
Appreciate
everybody in the
you, Dad.
division.
We've seen you in here before, brother. I appreciate your support.
First in the division, and a list of injuries that goes on and on and on and on.
I'm getting so much hate right now because of you guys just fudging the numbers on the record.
Godfather says Ryan has a record like the White Sox.
Everyone is saying that right now.
Wow, that's harsh.
Actually, the White Sox have a better record than I do, apparently.
Are you going to ask us for a ballpark again or not? Oh, no.
This is
Slanderous.
This is slanderous. This is libelous. This is defamation. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to find like at least 3 more wins. Stop the steal is what I got to say.
Stop the count.
Stop the
steal. You guys are stealing who you got.
Oh,
Stop
boy.
the
Please,
steal.
let's not. Let's not go.
Well, again, you have to go back and count them all.
I will. I promise you.
That's what you have to do.
And print it out.
Yes.
I
Well,
promise
you don't necessarily have
In
to print
big
it out.
font.
In big font?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In big font.
In large font.
So Luke can read it.
And highlight the winner, please. Different color for each person.
Carter Hawkins says Selena isn't dating a 3-22 Ryan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and this is like, you would think these guys would be trying to help me and not stealing wins from me, but guess not. I guess I'm on my own when it comes to Selena Gomez.
Anyway, tomorrow, go for 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Who's
Ass Man
going?
on the mound, right?
The Ass
Ass
Man.
Am I right?
Sod Shoveth against Manaya.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And he
It's a
shoved
winnable
against
game.
the Astros last week.
It's a
Really
winnable
showed
game.
me something. We'll see what he can do on the road at New York. I'm excited. Like I said this in the chat for Corey and Brennan show. Like, I like this team. This team has grit. Do I love them? Not yet. But are we on our way? Yes. Because winning games like tonight, you do more of that. And also win games that, doesn't make my heart almost come out of my chest. It's going to lead me down to a lot of delusional thoughts about October. But 18-11, all things considered, no Steele, no Belly, no Saya, no Merriweather, no Wicks now. I'm probably missing another name. They need to bubble wrap the entire team. Again, 18-11.
In first place.
In first place.
Heading into May, not quite.
We might
Not quite.
be. We might be.
Not yet.
We might be the best team in the city. People are saying.
Barb's
We might
going
be. I'm
out
not
for
saying we are. We might be.
Barb's going out for Greek Easter tomorrow, but hopefully should be done, wrapped up by the time we do the postgame show. We'll be here
Hopefully.
live for an hour afterwards,
Okay.
Barb. Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs podcast. We'll be back here, like I said, an hour tomorrow. Join us then. No pregame show, but the vibes will be with us. Until then, fly the W.
We all silly like the mayor.